Hey everyone, welcome back to Liz and Let Grow. I'm Liz, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on all things gardening. So I've always bought my potatoes from the store, but today I am taking on something totally new, growing my own DIY seed potatoes. I've never done this before, so you get to see every step, and trust me, there might be a few bumps along the way. Let's see if I can actually pull this thing off. So when preparing potatoes for planting, it's important to follow just a few key steps to ensure healthy growth and a bountiful harvest. First, let's talk about chitting. Chitting is the process of encouraging the potatoes to sprout before planting. To do this, place your seed potatoes in a cool, bright area like a windowsill or a cool porch. The ideal temperature is around 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius. Leave them for about 2 to 4 weeks. During this time, you'll see small shoots or chits. They'll begin to form, and these are the stems that will grow into the potato plant. Once your potatoes have chitted, it's time to cut them, but only if they're large enough. So you're going to aim for potatoes that are about the size of a chicken egg or larger, and use a sharp knife and cut each potato into pieces as you've seen here, ensuring each piece has at least 1 or 2 chits. It's essential to let the cut pieces dry for 24 to 48 hours before planting. This drying process helps form a protective layer over the cut, reducing the risk of rotting once they're in the soil. Now we are ready to plant. All right, welcome back to Liz and Let Grow. My name is Liz if you're new here, and we are back outside again. So today I'm going to be planting potatoes, and I've already shown you how I prepped the potatoes. I just used organic grocery store potatoes. Gonna try my luck at those, and then if those don't work, next year I'll try buying like actual seed potatoes. But as you can see, I've already kind of somewhat cleaned up the bed. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be making 2 trenches about 6 inches deep, 8 inches deep. We're going to be making 2 trenches about a foot apart, and those are going to be where we plant our potatoes. We're not going to be filling in the trenches, but I will fill you in more along the way. So this is where we're going to plant my potatoes. They need full sun. They need to be planted a couple weeks before your last frost, so right about now. And yeah, let's just get started. I'm gonna prep my trenches. I'll show you my potatoes, and then we'll get going. All right, so as you can see, I've made my trenches here. And the next thing that we're gonna do, so I have my little notes here because I've never done this before, but you're gonna wanna trench 4 to 6 inches deep, about a foot apart. And then you have potatoes that you've chitted, which means that you have allowed to sprout. And then these I showed you, I cut, and they have healed over so they're completely dry to the touch. The red ones have actually oxidized a little bit, so they're a little bit brown, but I think that'll be fine. So we're going to plant these with the cut side down, so with the sprouts pointing up. And these are going to be put a foot apart in those trenches and covered with about 3 to 4 inches of soil. So you're not going to be filling the whole trench. And that trench will eventually get filled in because you're going to be mounding the dirt over the potatoes, which increases the spud size. It also encourages more growth, and also helps protect the potatoes, the spuds from, you know, a lot of the, protects it from the sun. It also protects it from, I think, getting too warm. So, but again, this is my first year, so check back with me. But I'm very excited to try this because, yeah, I think especially with kids, it's gonna be really fun to like dig them up. And I mean, we're all a kid at heart. So anyway, let's just get these planted. And then if I have time, I'm gonna be putting some lettuce seeds around the beds of where my tomatoes are gonna be planted. But let's get the tomatoes in the ground first, or potatoes, excuse me. Let's get the potatoes in the ground first. First, I have my tape measure, and I wanna just measure that these are 4 to 6 inches deep. I don't think they're quite deep enough. Yeah, they're only about 4 inches, so I'm gonna make these a little bit deeper. All right, so now we're gonna plant them cut side down. We're gonna do the purple ones first, and we're gonna do hopefully half and half. Do as many as we can, and 12 inches apart. So we'll start here. We have covered all of our potatoes. I'm gonna leave it still a little bit trenched just so I'm gonna be moving the dirt a lot, I guess, in this process. So we have them all planted. I don't think that they need to be watered in, but I could be wrong, so I might check on that. All right, so I'm gonna water in the potatoes. They need to be kept moist, but not soggy. sowing some lettuce, pretty much just on the borders of this bed, and I have a whole bunch of different kinds. I'll insert that later, what kinds I'm planting. Some of them will be a bit of an experiment because they were packaged for 2001, so I don't know how viable the seeds are, but we'll see if my year 2000 seeds will provide. I think they're actually like in individual packets, so maybe they'll survive. Maybe they survive. And I also have some slow bolt arugula. I have white stem bok choy and lingua di canarino lettuce, and those are some that I got from the free heirloom seeds. So if you didn't know, I got free seeds from online. They're heirloom, and so I'm excited for that. I'm going to be a little bit more careful with those, but I'm just going to be planting, and yeah, I'll show you what I've done after. All right, so that was my planting of lettuce. I planted some bok choy over here as well. I planted some additional lettuce over there, as you saw. We got our potatoes planted, which was fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted to get done today. Everything else was just extra, but we'll see. These kind of left the seed packets where I planted them. But we'll see if these germinate, you know, from 2001. They were packaged pretty nicely. They were Martha Stewart's brand. So we've got some like mezclun mix, some loose leaf lettuce, some summer crisp lettuce, and I think some kind of like spicy mix. But the ones that I planted over here were from the heirloom seed, the free heirloom seeds, and those were the slow bolt arugula. I had some bok choy and some lingua di canarino lettuce. Yes, I lived in Italy for a year. Could you tell? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding about that, but I'll stop now. But yeah, so thank you for joining me and the baby. If you didn't know, I am having another baby. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.